Come on in, bro.
Which one?
Take right there.
That's cool. On Will?
Either one of those two is cool.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Trey, why don't you say hello to folks on YouTube?
Hey, how y'all doing? What's up, what's up, what's up? It's your boy A-Trey right here. We're on point on 90.7 FM KRDP, y'all. You know, where we come to dance, to talk, to sing, to chill, to relax, to connect. So today, we're going to have our guests. You know, it's the top of the month, and the first thing that we do is we always have our man of the hour. Our man of the hour, and that's what we're doing today, too. We're going to have our man of the hour. And our first segment is Can We Talk? But once we get our man of the hour going, we might be able to convince his brother to stay and talk a little bit. You know, check out that conversation, see where it goes. Because that's what we do. Right here, we're on point. And you're able to check us out on Facebook as well. We're on point on Facebook. And that's what we does. So, and the fella behind the camera, who should be in front too, Kosh Brown, he's running stuff for us today. So y'all, you know, just stay tuned, check us out. Let me see, who am I going to go with first?
You're not going to hear anything, but don't worry, we're on the air.
Okay, that's cool. On our Mac is on.
Your head is in the screenshot.
Oh my God. Hey Fab.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of callers too.
Do we collect
We
people on there?
can take callers.
Did that
a
just
lot,
shrink?
We're still a newer station, so a lot of
You're
people
right.
are just more passively listening. We do get some feedback from folks, but you know, depending on your topic, they might call in.
We're building it up.
Matter of fact, let's test the line to make sure that. Can you, Fabrice? Can you just call the studio line real quick?
Mhm.
Let's just make sure it's working right.
Is something playing?
Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
Is this something that you were supposed to read?
Oh,
Are these yours or Fabrice's? These yours?
No, that's his.
benefit concert for Infuse Open Mic.
KRDP, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yep.
Wonderful. All right, thank you.
Rock and roll.
Here you go, Trey. Trey.
Hey, I got a question for you guys, man. Part of my business, man, in addition to being a DJ, man, I do adult conversation where we talk about sex, romance, relationships.
Okay.
And I host a family feud. I host a family feud like Steve Harvey hosts a family feud.
Okay.
If I ask the question, see, I say, hey, top 6 answers on the board. You gotta find the most popular answer. Here's the question. And I give you the question, and I
Go
ask
ahead, you
people
guys
to
gotta
call
go. Go
in.
ahead and go.
No, you should.
Say they
Because I was
call
going
in, I
to.
say, if you get the number 1 answer, I give you a $50 gift card to Cooper's Hall.
No,
I can't
we,
do
we
that.
can't do that. We're a non-commercial station.
Okay.
So,
Am I in the way?
no.
Let
Sorry.
you know the things that you do, but anything that endorses cost, commercializes.
All right.
that-
Actually,
those are
let me
things.
amend that. You can't say it when you guys are simulcasting on the FM, but during breaks and it's just YouTube, you can do that. You can do stuff like that.
So what I'll do, what works best for me is a conversation between the two of us.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll ask you a question, man, and Family Feud question.
Mhm.
Okay. And let's see how well you would do if you was playing a Family Feud.
Okay,
So-
stand by. This is your headphone volume, right here. And this is your headphone volume. You got enough gain?
Mine is like quiet, dead. I hear nothing.
Oh.
What
wait a
should
minute.
I hear?
Hold on. Pull them off for a second, so I don't bust your eardrums. Okay, now try.
Prince.
Okay. Okay, stand by. Okay, you ready?
And we are back right here at We're on Point. It's your boy A Trey on KRDP 90.7 FM on your FM dial. And we about to start this whole thing off. Hopefully you had a good week, and if you didn't, then look forward to the next week because you made it through that one. And today is the first of the month, so you know we always have our man of the hour. And today is no different, so we're going to have our man of the hour because that's where we come to highlight those individuals that do their thing, that capture that spirit of entrepreneurialism, and either do something for the community or and initiate something that's new, you know, that maybe one of you might be interested in, and we take care of that. You know, we make sure that people know that they're there. So that's the other part of it. They say support our business, but we never voice it. So that's what Man of the Hour is for, to voice it. And in the past, you guys have known we have some ladies that are out there, and they put out their music and so forth, or their work and their jobs, and they show sound and strong entrepreneurial spirit and so forth, and so we broadcast that too. And so for some of you that might have a question today, if you come through, 602-633-2662. That's 602-633-2662. And you can do that. And so, hot on the mic with me, I'm going to have my boy D-Money up in that spot. Daniel Nunez is going to be inside of there. So we're missing our boys Dr. J and GV. But today we doing that. And of course, you know, we're going to have inside of here that second voice, Sal Silver up in that spot.
Yeah.
What's good?
Oh, no, here we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like, we're going to actually try to pick up this conversation a little bit. I got some things to say as y'all. And we're going to introduce our guest here today too. Y'all know that I'm doing this little musical chairs thing. I see you, D. I see you. And it's our man of the hour. I want to introduce the young man. And he's representing DJ Chuck Dog Entertainment. What's up, bro? How you doing today?
Man, I'm blessed by the best.
I can't ask for anything more than that. Hold on, folks. Hold on. Ooh, wee. Okay, all right. So, thank you for joining us here today. We just wanted to find out a little bit about what you does. And we want to say thank you for joining us here because we understand. Entrepreneur, businessman, extraordinaire. And I know you came in from Chicago, right?
Yeah,
By
that's
way
right.
of Illinois.
That's right.
So tell us a little bit about your business. What is Chuck Dog Entertainment?
Man, 20 some odd years ago, man, before then, in high school, man, I go to parties, man. House music in Chicago is like huge.
Right.
Huge, man. So, man, I go to parties, man. Warehouse, power plant, music box, candy store, all these parties, man. Farley, Jack Master Funk.
Right.
You know, one of the DJs, man. We had all of the chosen few, all of them DJs. Everybody DJing. The parties was off the chain. It was off the chain, man. You know, and I'm like, man, this is what's up. You know, and then after high school and then in my early 20s, you know, I go to parties. In the early 30s, I go to parties, man, and the DJs just wasn't bringing it, man.
Right.
You know, and I was disappointed, man. I go to a party, man, I'm disappointed, man, because the DJ whack, man. I could do this better myself.
Right.
So I became a DJ, man, because that's how a lot of businesses start. We experience something and we feel, hey, man, I can make this better.
Mhm.
And that's what I started doing, man. I started DJing right around 98, 99.
Mhm.
You know, I started DJing, man. I'm playing stepping music and house music. And in Chicago, man, stepping music and house music are huge.
Okay.
Really, really, really big. You don't have a lot of that here. But in Chicago, man, stepping music and house music, man, is where it's at. I really carved my niche in Chicago, man, with stepping and house music. Some years ago, I started selling CDs, man, in the African Fest. They have African Fest. African Fest is basically like a 4-day festival wrapped around Labor Day weekend. So you'll have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and people go around the booths and you could purchase things, soap, t-shirts, a lot of African art. And I was there with house music and stepping music CDs. And the
Okay.
first year, man, I didn't think, you know, I'm like, man, I'm gonna take a chance. I'm gonna gamble on myself.
Right.
You feel me? So I'm
That's how
like,
it
man,
starts. That's how it
man,
starts.
I'm gonna put the booth cost me $500, you know, and I wasn't no rich man, but
Right.
I knocked out that 500, man. I made 1,300 copies of my stepping in house music CDs.
Right.
I sold out. Man. I sold every single one of my CDs, 1,300 CDs, man. I was so proud of myself, and it gave me the confidence.
Right. To go forward.
Exactly.
Right.
So, man, I was Black Women's Expo, Chosen Few Picnic. They have a Chosen Few Picnic every year right around 4th of July weekend.
Right.
If you're in Chicago, if you ain't in Chicago, come to Chicago for that. Because that,
Right.
that stuff is off the chain. Man.
Right,
It's
right.
off the chain just to have so many brothers and sisters
Right.
out vibing, man, wrapped around the music, man.
Did you ever participate in the Circuit City Classic?
So, no, I didn't.
Oh,
No, I
okay.
didn't. But I carved my niche just selling CDs,
Mhm.
and most of the time I would put out anywhere from 3,000 to 5,000 CDs per year
Mhm.
with stepping music. My stepping CD collection is called Stepper's Paradise. I made 39 stepping CDs every year, man. People would come from all over the country. I've shipped CDs to 24 states. I've shipped them to Iraq. I've shipped them to Afghanistan. I've shipped them to Germany
Right.
when CDs was popular. Now, we don't really use CDs no more. But
Yeah.
that's just part of what I do.
Right. Right.
About 8 years ago, man, I was DJing and people would come up to me and they'd be like, man, you jamming, dude, you jamming. But wasn't nobody dancing. You know, they was just there, man, and they'll come up and they'll be like, you jamming. That's because everybody was on their phone.
Right.
Everybody was on their phone, man. They wasn't really into the music. They was into what they had in their hand. So I say, man, I got to come up with a way to get people more interactive and more engaged into their own event, their own party, man. And I started hosting games, and it took off. It took off, man. I host Jeopardy. I host Jeopardy like Alex Trebek was hosting Jeopardy. But I call it Black Jeopardy. So some of the questions, one of my questions might be, man, let's see how well you do with this, all right? This is a
Okay.
Jeopardy question, okay? Here you go.
Okay.
Let's see how well you do. If you're listening, call in, see if you can answer this question. Here we go. He owned a garbage business in Los Angeles in the 70s.
I got it.
Come on with it. Go on with it.
My boy Shameless P.
Come on
Tell you
with
what
it.
it is.
My boy Shameless
Talk
P.
Where's Sanford and Son?
My man. That's what I'm talking
I
about.
see where you are.
Okay, and you see, notice he said who is.
I see where you
All
are.
right.
Yeah.
So that's one game I play. Another game I play, I'm gonna ask you again, and you can see if your boy can help you. If you can't get it. But another game I play is the Family Feud, man. I host the Family Feud like Steve Harvey
Right,
hosted
right.
Family Feud, man. I got the sound effects, ding, the music, all that, whole 9 yards, man.
Now,
And
is that do you contract out for families, or is that just, do you do that in a specific spot?
No, it's contracted out. Man, I've done events for BET, Black Entertainment Television. I did their Christmas party 2 years ago. I did an event for McDonald's Corporation in Chicago. They have offices in Chicago. I've done events for Deloitte. I did an event for Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Okay.
I've done events for the Hilton Hotel and a lot of team building.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh man, it's great.
Fortune
For,
fives,
it's
okay.
great for team building.
Right.
If you are in schools, man, if you're a principal and you got professional development and you don't want your teachers to just be, wrapped up into an activity or a lesson for professional development, I go to schools and I do it for that too.
Right.
So it's more or less for hire, but I do that, the Family Feud, and after this segment, man, we come back again, man, I can ask you guys a Family Feud question.
Right,
But
right.
those games allowed me to grow my business. Those games, man, people, if I got called 10 times to host to do a party, 8 or 9 of those times was people hiring me to play games.
Right.
They weren't hiring me to DJ, and I'm a darn good DJ.
Right.
All right, real good, man, for real.
Right.
But it wasn't that they didn't want a DJ; they just wanted that interaction, and that interaction was huge, man. And it allowed me to meet a whole group of people that I wouldn't otherwise meet, and help people enjoy themselves for their birthdays, picnic, class reunion, family reunion, corporate events. They was able to enjoy that.
Cool. Listen, we want to address that when you get back too, when we come back. So we're gonna have this brief announcement and check out a couple of things. And I know my boy out there got some questions too. My boy in house probably got a couple of questions too. And if you guys have some questions, feel free to give us a call at 602-633-2662. So y'all check us out. Stay tuned. You just might learn something.
What's your Instagram? What's your Instagram?
Desert Rat
Chuck.
Desert Rat Guitars presents benefit concert for Infuse Open Mic, October 8th, 2022, 3rd Street Theater, 1202 North 3rd Street. Doors open 5:30 p.m. Show 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. All proceeds going to Roosevelt Row Artists Advisory Council, Phoenix Center for the Arts. Tickets on sale. 1 free raffle. Tickets included with every purchase. Additional raffle tickets are $1 each. We thank you for your incredible support of community radio. What
That
was this
I
for?
I don't know. I just moved it over there. But yeah, you should have read one of those. But that's
Okay.
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 No worries.
I thought this was for us to read.
Thank you for not reading prices. If there were
Right,
prices
I
on
yeah,
it.
caught that for a second.
Find it.
No, it's gonna be not gonna be.
What's up, Zale?
This is gonna be.
How's it going, bro?
All right, 1 minute.
That is Instagram, man.
Hey, folks, how y'all doing?
Chuck. G.
Is that for God's
OG.
sake?
Right here.
That's me.
Ha! Power to the people. Hey, listen, check this out. Y'all know we always start this first part of our segment, Man of the Hour. It's because we want to highlight those individuals who have something who capture that entrepreneurial spirit. But there are people out there who actually have something that they want to do, and for like 10 and a half years, I did consulting, helping people build businesses, structure businesses, and so forth. And a lot of times, the thing that
Shift over
the
just a
thing
little
that it
bit.
takes is for you to just the
little
thing
bit.
that it takes for you is just to commit yourself. You know, if you commit yourself, I promise the results are good. Because, and it sounds kind of cliche, but they say if you actually do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Stand by.
I believe that. So y'all check into that. Check into making something of your own. Make it better. Build it. And we are back. right here at We're On Point. It's your boy A-Trey. Hot on the mic with me, I got my boy Sal Silver.
Shameless in the building, baby.
I got my boy D Money up in the spot. What's up, D? How's it going? No, not right now. You cool. Voltron was cool though. And of course, we have our guest for the day, our man of the hour, DJ Chuck Dog up in the spot. And he was just telling us a little bit more about his business and some of the things that he does. And I know you're anxious to get started out here. So how long have you been established overall?
Man, I've been just here, man. I moved here to Phoenix or Arizona, man. I moved here to Arizona July 5th.
Mm-hmm.
So it's coming up on just 3 months.
Right.
I'm in Chicago, man. I was a teacher for 20 plus years, man.
Okay.
I taught middle school math.
Okay.
All right. And moving here to Arizona, I didn't want to be in the classroom anymore. I felt that I did all that I could
Right.
with the students that I taught for those 20 plus years, man.
Right.
And I'm grateful and honored.
Well, we
to have
thank you
done that.
for contributing to the educational process because teachers are important.
Right. Now here, what I do now is I coach teachers. So I work for a school district called West Mech.
Oh, okay.
And look, I can go in a whole nother segment about the importance of having career in tech educational services for children of color.
Right.
College is not for everyone.
This is true.
All right. You don't have to go to college to make a good living, to be a strong, productive citizen. You know, you can at West Mech, man. I would 90 to 95% of students who attend West Mech through our 1 or 2 year programs, they walk right into a job,
Well, that's
directly
cool.
into, and not only a job, but
A
directly
career.
into their career.
Right.
If you want to be an electrician,
No, I think that's a wonderful thing that you're doing. I think it's something big. I was pushed, and not saying that I didn't want to go to college, but I was pushed toward college because my mother and father went to college, my uncle went to college. But when you look at the people in the family who don't necessarily have a high aptitude for math or a desire to go out of town, they want to get right into a career. You have people who go into a trade and within 18 months, they're coming out and they're making money. You have college students who are doing 5, 6 years and they're just making debt. And it's big debt now.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
So
true.
you're helping people start at the age of 20, 21 with $40, $50, $60,000 a year, a career they can hold their head up about, something they can be proud when they, look at their family, when they go out, and maybe a plumber who goes and helps his grandmother or his aunt who's got something that would have cost her, a couple $1,000, they come and step in. I mean, those are life-changing careers.
Right. There was a program, and I slightly sway off, but there was a program called Job Corps. I believe they still exist, but that was its design, was to take those young individuals who didn't just go to traditional school, put them in something where they could learn, still get their diplomas, and then train them for a trade, a career, and then and that worked. It worked out really well, So, question. So, what's next for your entertainment company, right?
and right now I'm working on opening a bar here
Mm-hmm.
in Phoenix that can.
Cater to some of the things.
Yes,
that you want to do? Okay,
What I mean by
got
that
it.
is, man, in Arizona, man, we just don't have an established black culture nightlife.
Right.
If I want to go out and have a drink with similar-minded African Americans, there's only a select few places that I can go, even
Right.
on a Saturday night.
Right.
Where I'm from in Chicago, man, shoot, I could stumble out the crib, hop in the car, and in 5 minutes I'm somewhere where I'm sitting down across from somebody, male or female, man, and we just chopping it up, having a good time, listening to some good music. man, I gotta find, literally, almost like going through yellow pages back in the day, to try and find a place to do that here, man.
Right.
My goal, my number one reason for moving to Arizona is to establish a black culture where people could come. They could do spoken word poetry. They could do karaoke. They could do comedy. They could hear house music. They could hear stepping music. They could play Family Feud. They could play Jeopardy. They could do all of that and vibe with other people of color in a really an adult, mature setting.
Now that may make you different because there are a lot of people who may do one or two of those things throughout the city, but no one's allowing us to be us, you know, which a lot of times we're cast into. If you're hip hop, or that this is, they want thug music, they want to do this, they want to do drill. If you're R&B, oh, they're bougie. You know, if it's jazz, oh, they're 100 years old. I mean, there's all kinds of stereotypes, but when it comes down to it, we're not all the same. We're people, you know, a lot of us hopefully are good people, but, you know, we like to do different things. You know, the steppers, the people who like to listen to the reggae and the island music, you know, you have crowds who will show up and support a club, support a DJ, support a entertainment company. So I salute you, and I think it's a great idea to have an open-minded platform.
Thank you, man.
That's
I appreciate
kinda cool.
that.
Feel free.
You mentioned earlier, as far as like, you know, identifying like deficiency in the music that you were hearing at the time and everything like that. And I think me and Sal have talked about this a couple of times in the past or whatever, as far as like pop music and pop culture infiltrating practically every single genre of music nowadays. You know what I mean? Like whether it's like, what was it, like you mentioned, Sal, like the drill, or people that are doing like, what is it? Gucci, you know, same stuff repeated over and over again, you know what I'm saying? The mumble rappers, excuse me. You know,
Right.
like, so as far as like the future and everything like that, knowing that everything's starting to become more homogenized, what would you suggest to producers that are trying to create music, and as far as being able to stick to their own style, their own, I don't know, how do you pave a way? How do you make a way when everybody else is just doing what everybody else is doing?
Man, you have to be different. Uniqueness matters. I'll give you a good example. There are hundreds of DJs in Chicago, and they all play house music, okay? Hundreds of them, man. You know, many of them way better than me, you know, but and I'm very, very good with
That's
house
big.
music.
Yeah.
But I was able to carve my niche just from putting out house music, cafe, and the Stepper's Paradise collection. And I was extremely successful just with CDs alone. Whereas other DJs would have to get a party to make that money. So the point that I'm trying to make through all of that is uniqueness. You gotta find what you're good at, and you gotta do that. I don't care what somebody else doing. Let them do what they doing, and you just believe in yourself enough and your product and your abilities enough in order to do what you're doing and keep forward with that. If you're trying to keep up with every Tom, Dick, and Harry, you're not gonna win. But if you're just trying to keep up with yourself and make yourself better, that's where it's at.
Do you think outside of your uniqueness, because the stepper zone and that lane was pretty wide open, but do you think it's more of the consistency? Because I'm from New Jersey, and New Jersey, New York, Philly, Baltimore, Chicago, Detroit, all house music towns. You know, even though we're hip hop first, it's a music town, but house music is played at all the clubs.
Right.
You know, all the hot clubs, it's playing, and whether you call it house or club music, it's been around. It hasn't gone anywhere. And I know DJs right now who have been spinning for 40 years, 30, 40 years, easy, and they have a crowd. If they sell mixtapes, they have people asking them left and right. You know, they have you guys have a lane.
Yeah, so I just like to just continue to, like, if I had it's so many people here from those places that you mentioned. That's the one thing I love about Arizona. You rarely meet people that's from Arizona.
Right.
Everybody from somewhere else.
Right.
So we all trying to grow, man. We all trying to build friendships and networking, man. And this is what it's all about, man. You know, the more people that we
That right there though, that drive to network, it can be disappointing. It can let you down. But something that you said is to keep going forward, keep driving. Because you have to be mindful of those individuals who want to go forward for the bag first, before the work. It's just true. Everybody's in to growing without working, in my assessment, in my view. So when you said, hey, you know what, you just got to keep going, I think I like that. I like that. I think that's a cool thing. There's now, I know you're just getting established and so forth out here, but do you have is there a way that people can contact you for what you do, or are you working on building that now, like a website or so forth?
No, I have my own website, djchuckdog.com. And I had the website for 15, it's been a minute, man, 15, 16 years.
Okay.
It's only been 2 years that I understood the business aspect and became Chuck Dog Entertainment LLC. But before, I was just DJ Chuck Dog. So because
Content purposes.
right, because of that, I kind of keep that name because it's on thousands of CDs. I still get people that'll call me, man. I have people call me to this day, and they'll say, "Hey, man, I got this CD, man. I done had it for like 8 years, man, and I need a DJ." You know what I'm saying? Or they'll go to my website, man, and so the website is important.
Do you have a number that contact or the
Yeah, my phone number 773-419-8840 and djchuckdog.com.
DJ Chuck Dog.
Yeah.
Dog.
Hey,
Live in Arizona, baby.
while I got y'all here though, man, I want to ask you a question. All three of you guys, all right? So the number one thing I do, man, the most fun that I have, man, is hosting a Family Feud.
Okay.
All right. So I want to
I'm
ask you.
good.
I want to ask you brothers a Family Feud question, man. I want to see how well y'all do if you was actually playing the game. All right?
Okay.
All right? So here we go. Top 6 answers on the board. You got to find the most popular answer. Here is the question.
Okay.
We asked 100 black men, just like y'all.
Actually, I'm a warm cocoa, but go ahead.
What is the most important element in a relationship?
Ding.
What is it?
Communication.
Communication's number 5.
Sex.
Sex, number 2.
I'm on the
Number
top.
2. I like the way you be thinking.
Physical
though.
attraction.
Physical attraction, that's a strike.
Okay.
Come on, brother. I want to hear from all y'all.
What is it, D-Money?
Mindset, that's a strike. Come
Strike
on,
two.
fellas. Come on, fellas. Y'all gonna strike out,
Okay,
man.
okay.
Y'all gonna strike out.
Survey
I hate to
says,
say this.
can she cook?
Can she cook? No, man. Y'all just striking out. Come on, give me another.
Money.
Money, that's a strike too, man. Y'all suck.
What?
What money and a woman got to do with each
No,
other?
y'all suck. Y'all suck, man. I'm really disappointed. I'm disappointed, man. I thought y'all would do better, man. I'm gonna give y'all
Yeah, I
the
got number
answers.
2.
Where's GV when we need him?
I'll give y'all the answers, okay?
Go ahead.
I give you the answer. Number 6, loyalty. Okay? Number
Okay.
6 is loyalty. Number
Okay.
5, you got communication. Okay? Number 4 is fun, compatibility. We want a woman that we compatible with, a woman that we
Right.
have fun,
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of in the physical attraction because you have fun, but anything they want to do if you
No,
physically attracted.
you can be fine. You can be fine as fine and be boring AF. So no, physical attraction and fun and compatibility are not the same. Number 3,
Your girl got to be sweet as a Reese's.
number
Go ahead,
3
go ahead.
is respect.
Uh-oh.
I like
Respect.
it.
All right.
Yeah.
You got number 2, which was sex.
Yeah.
The number 1 answer, man, most important thing in a relationship is trust. If I don't trust you, man, we ain't got none coming. You could be the best in bed. You could cook like you own a restaurant. You could be respectful. You could be loyal. But if we don't have trust, we don't have anything at all. And that's basically how I play the Family Feud, man. And it goes.
Anything more. I want to take that to the judges because if I'm not mistaken, mindset has a lot to do with like compatibility. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. That's just me.
Yeah, mindset compatibility. Dan might not have got a strike on that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
I've
don't
seen
know.
some light ones go through, and then but you sound so much like what's his name, Steve Harvey. You just don't have the suits with the tails.
Yeah.
But they see him in they see him in their ears. They see him in their ears. So there's a young man, young lady right now, listening, and they like the idea of what you do, or they'd be interested in, hey, how can I become a DJ? How can I be a part of that? How can I do something to that effect? What would you tell them?
DJing is all about getting the music first. You have to get the music. DJing is easy now. You can get a computer and DJ. So I would look at that. It's a very, very DJing. Man, when I first started DJing, I didn't use albums. I used CDs when I first started. But man, you imagine carrying 5 crates.
I used to. I DJed
You know what I'm
until 12th grade and said, no, girls don't see the records, they see the clothes, and you can't afford to buy records and clothes. And I'm not as good as all these other DJs in my neighborhood. I was like, nah, I think I'll stick to basketball in college.
So, what else would you put out there for them so they don't? They look at, they said, you know what, I think I could do that. What's a pillar? What's a staple? What's something that they should know?
Passion. Are you passionate about what you're doing? Is this something you really, really want to do? If you're not passionate about what you do, then you're really just wasting your time. So you just, that's where, if you're passionate and this is where you want to be and this is what you want to do, then do it. Even if you're just doing it for fun. And that's how I would strongly suggest starting out. Just do it for fun. Get software on your laptop, iPad, or on a tablet, and just do it like that, man. And then if you really like it, then go and invest in equipment, because DJ equipment is rather expensive, and you don't want to go and spend thousands of dollars on something that you're not going to use.
You said something big there, though. Have fun. The passion is big also, but people think, oh, I'm passionate about this. I'm passionate about it. They're passionate about chocolate chip mint ice cream when they go to Baskin Robbins. So, but when they're willing to take the time, and because passion for somebody like yourself who's put 20 years in, and who digs in the crates and who goes to record shops and goes and is looking for different things, that's where you're talking more, I would think, is the line of passion. So for these young people who are trying to understand what it takes to be a DJ on your level, you have to have the music, like you said. You have to find it. You have to go and look places that not everyone else is looking, because you don't want to play the records that everyone else is playing. You want to be unique, like you said. Now I want to ask you before we go, what do you think about Beyonce and?
You know what? When we come back, we're gonna have a couple of questions. So y'all just check us out. Stay tuned. You just might learn something. I want to know about Beyonce too. So hold on.
Oh yeah, they all went to house music. Yeah, that should have opened your lane up even wider.
Yeah.
With Beyonce.
Programming on KRDP is supported by Native Health, located at 4041 North Central Avenue, Building C, near the southeast corner of Central Avenue and Indian School Road in Phoenix. Native Health provides primary medical, dental, behavioral health, wake and wellness services for the urban Native American community. More information is available at 602-279-5262. That's 602-279-5262. Or online at nativehealthphoenix.org. And we thank you for your incredible support of community radio.
So did it just play ahead and we just didn't notice it the last break?
Did you do that?
Oh, you're clearer. You can talk. That's okay.
I think you did that already.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So did it just play ahead and we just didn't notice it?
I think so.
Right.
Switching to,
We're just gonna leave it. It's fine.
Okay.
Because people don't listen all the way through.
You don't think
They,
so?
they listen in 15
Oh.
to 20-minute increments.
Oh,
And your hardcore people don't care.
Did you know you played?
You'd be
I
like,
like it,
yeah,
I
the
like it.
computer, just tell them the computer was being stupid.
What's up, folks? Hey, when we come back,
Getting any more attention.
I don't know what Facebook is doing. When we come back, we going Can We Talk? It's our segment, Can We Talk? Because there's some things that are happening nationwide. It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't want to bring up 45. I really don't. But your girl, the Attorney General out of New York, Ms. James, she's pretty adamant about pursuing a case against 45 for things that seem to have slipped through the cracks for years, and they've provided a preponderance of proof. And something that they tell you in the law, and y'all know I already went through this. Something that they tell you is, you never speak
Stand by.
before you think. Think about pleading the fifth. We'll talk about that.
And try not to hit the table. For some reason, your microphones picked that up.
Oh, okay.
Go down one.
He jamming.
Okay.
Okay, I could do that.
You ready?
I could, yeah. So the question is it possible to live in a 2 alpha home? You know, I guess it's just a matter of opinion. Is there such thing as a alpha female? It seems to have been pulling itself into the forefront a lot lately. It's a question. The attitude of women and men have changed considerably. So the question is this something that we can deal with?
You better be careful to even ask the question.
Because
are there
we
alpha women? Like I know, I got maybe 20 of my family in New Jersey, between New Jersey and Maryland. They're like, who did it? What did that brother say? Are there alpha women? There's a whole family full over here. Last name Silver. Yeah.
Here's my thing. Before we get into that, because that's going to be in our segment Behind Closed Doors, but before we get into that, I want to know, can we talk for just a moment? Can we talk? Okay, what's the purpose of the Fifth Amendment? Anybody?
To keep your mouth shut and to not have that information used against you.
We're gonna ask our guest if he'd like to join in on this conversation with us today. So, if so, then you'll be able to speak your piece too.
Yeah, definitely.
Here's the thing. Trump, I said it. 45. I'm sorry.
Argentina.
45 said in an interview on national television that individuals who plead the fifth were suckers, that they were cowards, and that assuredly they were guilty. Yes, regardless, they were guilty. So, the Attorney General in New York says, because of a preponderance of proof. she's going to bring against 45 and his company charges and sue him for fraudulent tax behavior. Fraudulent. And she said this spans back years.
To the 80s, I'm sure.
And then they went to ask him a question, and he said, I have to tell you, all of these things are lies because these are the things I've done, and my record speaks for itself. I'm going to stand on the 5th. Well, you can't plead the 5th if you've already spoken.
Right. You can't halfway plead the 5th.
Am I missing something? Did something escape me?
Yes.
What is it? Do tell.
Entitlement. The fact that they pulled the wool over your eyes and made you believe that there was some fair play going to happen, that there was just a new party in office for a minute. But no, it's all about smoke and mirrors. It's all about I can do whatever I want to do. Why do you build hotels and build apartment buildings and go bankrupt, but you're flying to Dubai and you're starting a new casino somewhere else? Because your people created the rules and you know how to break them and not go to jail.
Slightly off, but relative to what you said, at 13 you have to pay back, right? Did you know that only a percentage of it actually has to be paid? Did you know that charters pay you when you're a company? So you get more money than the value of what you were actually filing bankruptcy for than the loss. So is that a way to stay in business?
Do you think he actually did 13? He did 7. You do a 7, it wipes out everything.
No, he can't.
You get to decide at times which assets are not being included in the 7.
If he claimed a 7, he has a host of limitations. And if he had an attorney that was worth his weight, half worth his weight in tax or land or commercial business, they would let him know. Any S or C corp should not file a 7 because he has no leverage. With a 13, he has leverage. He could skip a payment. We don't get into it. It's true. It's the truth. He could skip a payment and cause a forfeiture by what's the closest word I could say? A forbearance on a 13 and get credit for it because it's a tax loss. Now, I would never function in that realm in business, but that's why they have deductibles in your taxes. When you pay out those monthly expenses, quarterly expenses, and weekly expenses, quarterly expenses, biannual expenses, annual expenses for your business, in order for it to stay afloat, you're credited because of those losses, because it's an out-of-pocket expenditure for the business, money you do not have, so you get money back. 13 would definitely be the way for him to go. There's also an 11, but 11 has open articles that have to be addressed. I'm not proficient with that, so I'm not going to speak on it. But 7 is mostly for people at home. Dude got over, and his record showed, as of 2019, that he was $987 million down. That's $1 billion in taxes.
How many times did he file?
I'm not sure.
I think it was more than once.
How many? Man, listen. What would happen if we owed $3 million in taxes?
You go to jail.
Without a question.
Wesley Snipes. You know him, right?
Yeah, I did. I do him.
He didn't know 987 million.
I'm just saying. What's that look, D?
the what is it? The sum total of the people that we associate with the most.
Right.
I find it kind of odd that, or peculiar that for the last several months, like almost every single one of Trump's associates is looking at some sort of legal actions taken against them. You know what I'm saying? And it's weird because, like, again, even when Trump was trying to push to have the execution of the New York Five.
Right.
He's trying to, like, make it seem like he's got everybody else's best interest in mind, and that, like, he's like a hands clean saint. But the reality is like, I mean, I think we all know for a very long time, even when he was doing his business as far as developing his real estate empire in New York City, he was very racist. You know what I mean? And it's gotten like, it's now gotten overt when, the prosecutor from New York City laid out her accusations and everything like that. The first thing that Donald Trump ends up saying is, "Oh, she's racist, she's attacking me," or whatever. That's like the worst case of Karenism that I've encountered up to this point. You know what I mean? I mean, at this point, not my clown, not my circus. I mean, if you guys want to continue ranting and raving about the orange orangutan who doesn't want to vacate his position, I mean, by all means. It's just like, for me, I just think that we need to put him in the past. You know what I mean? He needs to go away. But that's just my 2 cents.
But Dan, I want to ask you, how many people do you sit around who were like, I mean, it was almost, he was the next Gandhi, or, he was he was the Pope or somebody special coming to save people. And now with all these charges, I don't hear all the rah-rahs. And you may see someone on TV, you may see a senator trying to keep a job or keep some position. But I was wondering what happened to all those people. Because he's definitely, I mean, is that who you want representing you?
Well, hey, those people still there, man. You got, if you look at the last election, 49%, 49 point something percent of Americans voted for him.
For a crook.
They still voted for him.
Right.
So that's just telling you how divided the country is. What I notice here in Arizona, that they don't do really that much in Chicago, but they do it here. And when I watch TV here, I see a lot of politicians that they'll side with Trump. They'll say, hey man, Donald Trump endorsed me. I'm endorsed by Donald Trump. Donald Trump, and I agree with his policies and his procedures. But in Chicago, man, where you looking at a blue state, it's a blue state. You don't really see that. When I came to Arizona, this is eye-opening for me to see that much commitment and that kind of support for him.
It was turned blue.
Just wait until you hit the highways when there's another rally and you see all these monster trucks with the tires almost as tall as me and all these rednecks running around with these assault rifles lined up in the back of the car, and they're trying to run people off the road 100, 200 deep. It's a sight to see. And I'm not saying all of the people here in Arizona are like that, because we know some real good Europeans, but watch yourself.
There's nice people on both sides. Wait, did I just say that? Anyway, something that I did notice was that a lot of people are piggybacking, and I don't want to sway too far, but a lot of people are piggybacking off of some of the things that he was doing, building a wall. My question is, what purpose does that serve? It makes no damn sense. And then I'm like, and you were talking about the 5D. They were found not guilty, and he was saying, well, they look like it. They come from the same place where most guilty people come from. Who says that?
You know who says that. That's why we don't even need
And,
to really
and
address that.
here's something else. There was no, it wasn't a stimulus package. When they created the PPLs, those PPE, loans, and they were giving long-term forgiveness, a large majority of them have already been forgiven, and it hasn't been 10 years or 5 years. Hell, it hasn't been 3 years. But they were giving companies millions of dollars. And so those people were like, hey, you had business people that were supporting them because they only saw business dollars coming to them. But the general person at home didn't see that. He says, well, I signed a new medical bill, a new health insurance bill. No, you didn't.
He destroyed Obamacare, which wasn't Obamacare, it was the Affordable
Healthcare Act, exactly. And if you look now,
He named it.
with PBMs or pharmacy benefits managers, the healthcare reform bill tried to get it to call the Trump Care Act. No, but the healthcare reform bill still exists. The Affordable Health Care Act still has to be in play. Tore it all down, said all these bad things about it, and renamed it the same thing. You know what? That's okay. Every rooster comes home to roost. And what we're going to do is make sure that, people know that this is something that's supposed to happen. Check this out. If you have something that you'd like to add to this, call 602-633-2662. That's 602-633-2662. And y'all stay tuned. Check us out.
Call in, baby.
You just might learn something.
Okay, you're clear for 8 minutes.
Cool.
8 minutes.
Hey, this is pretty cool, man. I've never experienced something like this. But this is dope, man.
Thanks for joining us, man.
I love your voice, bro.
Oh, yeah. Loose draws.
Your
Oh,
voice
yeah, we ain't even start playing around with that one. Very light.
Very light.
Man.
Hey, folks, how y'all doing?
We'll be-
Thank you for tuning in. This is cool. We appreciate it. Your support is always a great thing because your support makes us better. Listen, I know that you have things that you have to say, or there's questions that you have to ask. You have comments that you want to make. And the only way that we actually become wiser about a thing or smarter about a thing or more in tune about a thing is because you actually have something to say. Somebody actually speaks back up. So feel free to leave your comments. Feel free to make some statements or what have you. Touch base with us. Get in contact with us. And maybe we'll be able to read one of your questions and supply an answer on air. So check us out. Do that.
You said something big about if Trump's lawyers were good. Well, you do know they thought up the insurrection. So they had to be pretty good to come up with that whole plot and plan and, and what to do if this happens. And they had contingency plans on top of the plan.
I don't know if they had contingency plans.
They
Because
said
a lot
they
of
did
this
in the
stuff is
report.
a lot of this stuff is still falling apart.
But I'm not saying they had a great contingency plan, but they had plans.
Right.
And when it comes down to it, they just weren't ethical lawyers. They were good lawyers. They were really good at what they do. But they weren't
Tell me
very
I need to
ethical.
lose weight.
I didn't say a word.
Oh, something.
I get it. Thanks for
Is there any water out there?
Yes. Underneath under the cabinet.
Okay.
I got you.
Thank you very much. Man,
How you doing, fam?
I'm painting the podcast studio. I've been working, doing electrical all week long, so my body is sore.
Oh, is that for Hot Buzz Radio or something like that?
No. Over where we have the CBD lab
Oh, okay.
on Broadway, we have a second location upstairs that was rented out to some guys that were making custom grills, and it didn't work out, so it was disgusting. I mean, disgusting. We had to clean it all out, and then we're painting today, so we did some more cleaning on top of cleaning, then painting. And we had to get Satan off the wall, love Satan off, all kind of other shit. I was like, come on, man, where does this come from? I almost wish I knew Erica Badu so she could come bring the sage and shit up in.
Was it a Malibu?
Mm-mm.
No?
No, 2 Mexican cats.
Oh.
And I always
The
spoke,
other brown meat.
They
Okay.
seemed a little, they always seemed halfway cool, but a little, distant. But I hear, and I know some real cool Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, you name it. I don't really care. But I hear that there's a big divide in the street because they're saying that the Europeans and the Mexicans get away with being able to tell and still be on the yard, be in good standing, not be ostracized, as long as they're telling on us. Right. Another hitch in the system.
And so you paint and electrical?
Man, I try not to paint, but
It's
yeah,
mostly electrical?
no, well, I own the electrical company.
You only electrical?
No, my guy does.
Okay.
He owns a CBD company, and we got a job doing a big, like,
Is that Troy Jenkins?
female, different, Athleta. It's a women's athletic clothing store.
Oh.
It's on the corner. It's like right near the stadium, the football stadium, out on 99. So we've been pulling wire. I mean, the ceilings are like 4, almost 3 stories high for this one floor place, but all new ducts going in, all brand new wire and pipe. You wouldn't, if you don't do electrical.
So you got drop ceilings?
No.
Really?
Wide open ceilings,
Oh.
up 3 levels high.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, you need a lift to get up there and just put the wires in. And I didn't know, but those pipes you see, they go up first, then you have to fish a line through to then pull the wire through. Whether it's 200 feet, 50 feet, whatever, it's crazy. We had wires this big at one time. And the last place we did a medical center in Scottsdale. When I was in DC, I used to do a little drywall, a little painting on my properties I had in Baltimore, but got good at the time. I used to get electrical. My guy who was an electrician, I used to pay him, and he'd tell me, here, run the wire all the way to here. I'll do it. I'll connect it to the box. Only charge you this because it's still technically
This is what
code when he did it.
this is what me and my little brother started. So, Premier Acoustics.
Oh yeah.
I started out with him, and so this is what we did for the longest time, and he's doing it now. So, drop ceilings. So when you say that it was up such another high, I'm like,
Oh yeah, they're not putting anything up there but lights. It's gonna be like we built a frame, 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 50 feet long and about 30, 40 feet wide.
oh, so it's a studio.
Square. No, it's a store. And you know how they have like the not strip mall, but like over there right near the stadium on 99th Avenue, where they got all the stores, like they have a
Right,
Gap
right.
and a Victoria's Secret and
Yeah.
a restaurant, but it's a corner one, so it's one of a big like a Victoria's Secret. They're not 2 floors up, but the ceilings are high as hell.
Right.
And all the new duct work is going in, they just put the floor down. It's crazy. And then the medical center right there in the Scottsdale, that shit was crazy. When you gotta put every single wire in the place, including the ones that go underground, like it's nutty.
How'd you get them underground? Yeah.
Shit, you gotta fish them through with a fish tape, or like there's certain things that were already there or not, but you gotta create them. Like it's
Charge more for that one.
oh yeah, a lot more. But like it's complete. I used to think it was just
Cheeseburger said he
wire
could kind
or
of get us a
something.
little bit down the
You
street.
talented brother.
Really?
So I don't know if that religious translator is off the
Yeah,
air
I do. I listen like
for like I don't know if it went down for a little bit.
Used to really be good at.
That's kind of cool.
Good
I
stuff.
like it.
Like I video edit, I put the stuff on YouTube. So like if you do an event or Phoenix Open, Barrett Jackson, core DJs, I used to be at every single event in town. Period. Just at all of them. And I'm talking about Barrett Jackson, all of them. and come in, film, put it on YouTube the next morning, on Facebook the next morning. So you didn't even have to put your own stuff out until you got it done the way you wanted. But I gave you light, gave you event light. So now I'm on a DJ call every Tuesday. Do this on Saturdays, do Hydrate the Homeless on Sundays. Do media and promo for my CBD company. And I'm building my platform. Oh yeah, and I gotta talk to you too. I got some quality talent that wants to come join the team, and they want to join it with me on something, and they got Motown backing them. So I'm
Say that last part again.
they've got Motown backing them for artists and the flow of music and all kind of stuff.
Okay.
I'm like, I did something with them where I went on 2.9.
Trey! Stand by.
Stand by.
All right. Bye-bye. Ooh.
Who is that?
And we are back.
Back, baby. We are in the
Check us out.
building. You can't
So
control that.
you're here with your boy A-Trey. We're here and we're on point on 90.7 FM KRDP, where the Valley comes to talk, to chill, to relax, to chillax, to communicate, to connect. We're at the top of our second hour, and I got my boy right here with me, Sal Silver, Shameless P up in the spot.
In the building.
And of course, I got my boy D Bunny, always keeping it fresh, keeping it hot. Daniel Nunez right there in the spot, y'all. And we have our guest, our distinguished guest, DJ Wonder Mike.
DJ Chuck Dog in the house, man.
See, he was being too quiet, y'all. We already know. We had to bring him out there. Hey, so
Chi-Town.
we're gonna start off our second segment. We always do behind closed doors. And I kind of want to start a little early. We only have the fella's perspective, so that's what we're going to have to run with.
Maybe the ladies are calling.
I'd like that. So, ladies, if you're listening, my boy is about to give you this phone number. We would like for y'all to call in.
602-633-2662. That is the KRDP studio request line. And we need you ladies to call in and give your perspective. And it doesn't have to be men bashing. It doesn't have to be pro women. It can just be how you feel.
There you go. There you go. Here's the question. Can an alpha male and an alpha female coexist? Are there such thing as alpha females?
Yes. And yes. And yes.
Wow.
But it requires a strong pimp hand. No.
Help him.
It requires.
Help him.
It really requires, to be honest, though, it requires a strong man. It requires a strong woman. It requires the ability to know when to pick your battles and when to, how you said, understand that everything isn't going to always make sense. And if it's not life-threatening, it's not going to change your principles or your morals. Sometimes you have to let one go so that they can come to you later on and say, you know what, baby, I was wrong. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have done that.
I don't know. You know what? I get it, but I don't know if that actually works well all the time. It's been my experience to some of the things that I've seen as of late, that if a fella apologizes, he's considered as weak.
No, I didn't say apologize. I just said let it go. Sometimes you don't, it's just like, you don't always have to acknowledge the peanut gallery. You know, I've had some really important people say some things, and all they were saying it for was to try to get a rile out of me, try to get me irritated or agitated. And I ignored them. They said, "You didn't hear me say?" And I said, does every request have a necessity to be answered? You know, if it didn't make sense, why would I even give it my time? And they laughed.
I see it like this, man. It's all about compromise. You know, you got to give a little, you got to get a little. You know, but if you mature enough to accept the fact that you're in a relationship and that's my partner, and I know she's not gonna say nothing to me that's gonna try and hurt me or belittle me. At least she shouldn't. And I'm not gonna do that to her. So if we are compromising, if we are both like-minded, both pushing in the same direction, both have the same thoughts on things, and she sees me slipping in the area, at this stage of my life, man, I'm old enough to accept constructive criticism from my woman, because if she my woman, she my partner, and she got my best interest in heart, you know. And that takes somebody that has that courage, man. You don't have to necessarily be an alpha female or alpha male, but it just takes somebody that has the courage to be able to express themselves to their mate in a tactful, calm manner.
Now, you sound like a very wise brother, but it also sounds like either you aren't in the dating pool at this point, and that you have a good, strong sister next to you that's been next to you for a while. You know, am I wrong? Are you married?
No,
Been
man,
with somebody for a
I
while?
moved here to July 5th to Arizona, man. I moved by myself. I stay by myself, and I am living my life as a single black man.
You're living his best life, well, ladies. Hold on. You gotta call DJ Chuck Dog on Instagram. He needs somebody to show him the town.
Yeah, so man, I just see it like that, man. You gotta be, man, compromise is important. You know, it can't all be my way, man. You know, like I give you a good example, man. I play golf, man. Golf is gonna take me 6 hours. So I wake up in the morning, let's say I wake up at 8 o'clock. And I leave out the house 8:30, and we got a 9:30 tee time. I'm not gonna be back. This 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, and then we gonna sit around. I'm gonna have a drink, eat something. It might be 3 o'clock before I come back. My woman need to understand that, you know. And
That's part of having a strong hand.
right. And if
Not
she,
saying that you're trying to run them, but that you're giving a clear expectation or understanding. I play golf. Not, oh, honey, is it okay? Are you gonna mind if I'm going Sunday? No, I play golf and I stand on it with these 10 toes. Just like I like to watch basketball, like I drink my beer, like I do whatever else I wanna do. Just like you go get your toes done, stand on those toes and nails get done, let me play my golf or let me do what I do. And a lot of people, that's where the divide is. It's like alpha versus alpha. And come on, shouldn't you be able to play golf?
yeah, well, it's not gonna be.
I don't know if
should
you
not
have to
be-
stand on it as firm as that.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's necessary.
Look, I tell a woman up front, if I'm dating you, I play golf, it's going to be this, and know that that's a big part of my life and it's going to happen. If you want us to do something on a Saturday, long as you give me advance notice, we can go and do it. I don't have to play golf, but I got guys, some guys I'll play with, man, they wife or girlfriend will be calling them, man. Did you tell her you was playing golf? Don't she know that you're gonna be gone for 5 or 6 hours?
Right, it's man time. Time to have
Right.
some freedom. Your brain just in your own thoughts. Has nothing to do with other women, has nothing to do with cheating, has nothing to do with, well, I don't care about you. No, it's just let a man have some time.
Yeah, you just gotta keep like another question that I like when I host a Family Feud. One of my Family Feud questions is name something that a man wants in a relationship from his woman, and one of those things is peace.
That's high on the list.
You know what I'm saying? Peace, man, because you just
We
don't
gotta
want
call
to
him,
be.
baby.
You just don't want to be arguing, man. You want that peace, man. It's cool, man. Let's see what this call is all
KRDP
about.
caller, can I get
So,
you
I don't know. The,
in? And Tiffany,
See,
where you calling from?
I don't know if I have to if I have to come in firm,
Just hold on.
blah, when I have to say something. I don't have to come in firm. I don't have to come in hot when I have to say something.
Well, you don't have to be hot, but you definitely need to be firm, and you definitely need to be clear, because in 2022, on the way to 2023, they have no qualms with hearing you say something and stepping on it.
Okay.
They have seminars for that.
You know what? Okay. Well, we got a caller. This is Tiffany from Phoenix,
Go, Tiff.
and can a alpha male and alpha female coexist? Is there such thing as an alpha female? That's the question today.
That she's on the air.
No.
Tiffany, you're on the air.
And a alpha female coexist.
Right. Is there such thing as an alpha male? I mean alpha female.
She think they good.
How's
Everybody got to stay in their lane, huh?
what you mean by that? Tiffany, can you hear me? What do you mean by that? What do you mean when you say that everybody got to stay in their lane?
Going on.
Oh, wait a minute. You said you can't have sensitivity going? Did we lose her? Would you be kind enough to repeat that, because I kind of lost you for a moment there.
You said go without emotion, Tiffany?
I think we lost Tiffany. She said, y'all need to stay in your lane.
Yeah, stay in your lane, and you can't be sensitive. And,
Well, I don't know. Sensitivity is a big thing in a relationship. If you're insensitive, bruh, then you won't be able to listen to the person. You won't be listen to her. You won't be able to listen to her. If you don't listen to her, you just create more problems, I think.
Well, you should listen, and you need to have a certain level of empathy and sympathy and concern. But this is not the world we live in. And I'm not necessarily a 22, 23, 24-year-old, but I listen to them. I hear them. I'm on these calls. I'm listening to their music. And being sensitive and all that is for the birds. I mean, the only sensitivity they show is emo and ready to die and all of these other things. Like, they don't even know how to party and be happy good. So sensitive, if they show emotion, they feel like getting played. It's going to be all on the internet. Somebody's going to take the caption and make a meme out of it. You can't be sensitive. You got to keep your game face on and your chest out.
You mean for a fella?
Fella and a female these days. The women, how many women have you heard say, I'm no punk, I'm no, and I'm like, huh? I don't need a woman to fight. You don't need a woman for violence. That's not what you're here for. But they, the way society is, they want to be able to do all the things we do. They want to be considered equal, which I'm not saying they're not equal at all.
I'm gonna put this out there, because I'm gonna say it as grammatically correct as possible so that it's an acceptable thing. I had a female, and before anybody tries to say something off the wall, let me let you know. I'm not gonna call you some chumpy thing, itch, garden tool, nothing like that. So female is just descriptive, not in the derogatory manner at all. So before you decide that you want to clap back and say something foul or negative, just scratch that, because that's not how it is. But before I go into it, we're going to make a brief announcement. And when we get back, there's something I have to tell you. This is the state of how our women are approaching us nowadays. So stay tuned, check us out. You just might learn something. One way listeners can support KRDP is by becoming one of our sustaining donors. Your financial gift supports the diverse programming you hear on KRDP. It also provides opportunities for youth, interns, and members of the Valley community to learn radio broadcasting and for coverage of local arts, culture, and politics. And don't forget, your financial contribution is tax deductible. For more information or to sign up to become a KRDP sustaining donor, call 602-254-6636. That's 602-254-6636. Or visit our website, listentokrdp.com. That's LISTEN, the number 2, KRDP.com. And click on the donate button on the top menu. Become a member. And we thank you for your incredibly generous support of community radio.
Okay, you're clear for 1 minute.
Yeah.
So, what y'all think? You think alpha females exist, or do you think it's something that we made up because women are becoming more assertive? Now, mind you, assertiveness and aggressiveness are two different things. Constantly, the lines are blurred between the two. Assertive is taking an opportunity to pick up the phone and placing it where it is. Aggressive is snatching the phone, throwing it to the same place. You're doing the same action a different way. Assertive and aggressive.
You could be passive aggressive. It takes a whole nother.
Here you go. I ain't mad. I'm just giving you the phone. I'm just saying.
Take your phone.
No,
No,
she
it's
did
your
more
phone.
than that. The one that you're about to talk about, she did more than that, didn't she? She almost groped you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I gotta tell y'all.
That's gonna be an
So,
interesting story when you tell them that.
last evening was a trip.
And
See,
is
I
it only the younger ones?
it's the
See, I told you the difference.
we have younger ones, but younger nowadays is something that you can look at it about 30, 35 down to 35 down to 16.
Mm-hmm.
And
21.
no, I'm saying that you got 16-year-old girls doing some of these actions.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't want to know nothing about it.
You're right. I don't want to know
I
about
don't
it.
want to know nothing under 25, but, you know.
I don't want to
If
know
you're in the
anything
same
about it.
drinking
But
establishment, you might be in trouble. But.
right, I don't want to know anything about it. But the fact of the matter is
Okay,
they step
stand by.
And we're back right here. We're on point on 90.7 FM KRDP. It's your boy A-Trey, and I got my fellas in the house with me. I got D-Money up in the spot. I got Sal Silver, Shameless P up in the spot, and of course our guest. And he's probably going to be tuning in too. But so we're in our segment Behind Closed Doors, and we got DJ Chuck Dog in the spot with us today.
Yes, sir.
But behind closed doors, and I'm asking, you know, if anyone out there would like to call in, feel free to do so, 602-633-2662. Listen, the question was, can an alpha male and an alpha female coexist? Is there a such thing? Is there a real alpha female? So, here's something that I've noticed. And I don't know what this is. But I've noticed that guys are starting to wear a lot more skinny jeans. They'd wear it a while. And then they're wearing them down below their behind. And they're taking a back seat to exuding masculinity. And now you have a couple of females who come out on the airways and they tell males that they're being toxic, with their delivery or their presentation of who they are. And so men have adopted this belief somehow that things we do naturally exhibits toxic masculinity.
Is mannish like one of those things that they'll say that'll, try to coin that?
That's a woman's phrase.
That was very mannish of you. I said,
Yes.
no, it was completely man. Mandingo, to be precise.
Help him.
Hey, I said, all kinds of.
So, we're at this function the other evening, and this young lady walks up, puts her hand at my chest, across my shoulder, and says, "You got a phone?" In a cute, high-pitched, exceptionally aggressive manner. I'm like, "Excuse me? I'm on my phone." "You got a phone?" "Well, yes, but I'm using it." "I'm on my phone." She said, "Ah." I said, oh, okay, I see you. You need a phone now. So look over to my boy TC, "Hey, young lady needs to use the phone. Why don't you let her use your phone?" And then she says, no. She says, she grins like, okay, like that.
Play me like that, huh?
Baby comes over to my side, takes her hand, places it under my left butt cheek, squeezes, comes close to my ear, and goes like this.
KRDP.
And she kind of whispers in my ear,
Oh,
"Look,
we couldn't hear you.
don't you see what's happening? Don't you see what's
You-
up?"
So when I patched you in, you could.
Lord.
Okay, what's wrong with that?
Oh no!
I like that aggressive.
No.
Man, okay.
No.
All right.
No.
Man, all
No.
right.
So you-
No.
Different strokes for
Look,
different
you
folks.
ain't
Okay,
grabbing
I'm gonna tell you
nothing
something.
below my belt.
I'm
unless
telling
it's
you,
my
I'm gonna tell you
calf.
this. I'm gonna tell you this.
You're
So I
speaking
looked
to the
at baby
station
and I
manager
said,
now. When we,
you know, because
when we-
I didn't
when
know
we
what to
patched
say.
you into the board, you couldn't hear the host.
I looked at her and I said, "Do you remember where
My
45
name is
said
Kaja,
how to
yes.
greet a woman?"
You,
And I said, "If you don't let go of my
Oh,
behind,
okay.
I'm about to show you. I'm about to greet
That's
you.
You
okay.
about the trumper?
no, but
That's what I call it,
Did
chopper.
you not hear the host?
I'm about to greet you." Now, here's something. Could you
Okay,
walk up
hold
to
on,
a
let me-
female and do that?
No, you can't walk up to a female and do it, but it's perfectly
Okay.
fine.
Let me
Ladies,
see
if you
I
ain't.
can fix that.
Man, look.
That's that. I have absolutely no problem with that. That's
DJ
not
Chuck
violating.
Dog said you can
Look,
grab his
look.
cheeks.
That's that. Then I already know what kind of woman I'm dealing with. See, I would rather somebody be upfront, straight up with me, and then I already know, okay, this is what she on, as opposed to, not being wanting to do that and don't, and then
Taking
I'm
your
trying
drink,
to figure.
taking your drink.
Yeah,
money
I'm
out.
trying to figure out, man, what's on her mind. I like straightforwardness. I'm not gonna walk up and do it to a
Look,
lady. but
I've
she
seen
can
this
do it to
too.
me.
Baby comes up, she look, take her dude phone, put her number in, give it back and say, "Call that." Point to herself, "Call that." What? No.
I'll take that over somebody grabbing my cheek. I don't need you behind me. I don't need you touching my butt. I'm anti that. Plus, in this world, and look, whatever anybody's lifestyle is their business. I'm
Right.
not anti anybody like that.
I got you.
But with the way this world is right now, a chick step to you all aggressive like that, and then want to grab you by your butt cheek and tell you, "Knuckle, blah 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 blah," she might have other plans for you when she gets you back home. Might not be the kind of plans you're interested in.
Right?
It might have sound good for the minute, but this is 2022.
No.
You must
No.
overstand.
No.
No, these women are they try to emasculate. They want to do everything you can do. So some of them get the urge to want to do things to you that you are not Hopefully, I mean, it's on all your business. But I'm trying to tell you, you might
Why am
want
I yanking
to.
from this
You might want to be prepared. Well, because I go to a lot of events and I talk to a lot of different people from different cultures and from east to west, and I have friends in those other communities, and they speak freely. And some of the things they say is like, oh, you want to do that? Oh, yeah, no, and it to each his own.
What's your definition of an alpha female?
Well, I look at
Chuck.
grandma.
What's your definition of an alpha female?
When I look at alpha female, man, I look at a woman that is a take charge type personality. Her mentality is, if it gotta be, it can be me. I can do this without your support. I can do this without you being around. So if you're here, then you're gonna have to blend in with what I already have going on.
And that, to me, that's a strong, self-sufficient woman who's learned how to adapt to being in the world herself. Now, we're gonna go back to Tiffany, but I want to hit something on a different note. Without it being a woman that we're interested in, I think my grandmother and a lot of grandmothers and families are alpha females. They run the show. They're telling everyone what they should and shouldn't be doing. They're gonna call you out if you're wrong. They're gonna grab you by the neck. They're gonna might come out with that couple $1,000s you need for college or to get that first house. I mean, it's a lot of different things. It's not all the same.
Here's something though. Before we pick up this phone, and I want yours too, D. What's your definition of an alpha female? Here's something though. I remember my nana always telling my aunts to be a lady. And now calling a female a lady is a cuss word. They will cuss you out if you call them a lady. And that's another story. But we have Tiffany on the phone. We got you back. I think we lost her.
We love you, Tiffany, but right now you're a little phone challenged.
Yeah. Get off that cricket, girlfriend.
Love.
She said she chirping. She ain't Tiffany. Ain't
We
chirping.
are now
She
separated
got
from
that iPhone
Chuck.
14.
Get off that cricket.
We separated from
Chuck.
Chuck.
Hey, but you said something, man, that I don't know. Ladies, you can't call a woman a lady. I don't know the women that you're dealing with.
Yeah, because
But
if you
there's
can't call
no,
a lady,
no,
it's
yeah,
trouble.
Really, man, I'll
Hold
say
it.
that all the
If
time.
Hold
you
it, come
can't
on
call
now.
a woman a lady, it's trouble.
I said, "Excuse me, young lady," to a woman in the store. I said, "Excuse me, young lady."
How old was she?
Didn't matter. But well, let me
Did she
recant
think
that.
you were flirting with her?
No, I said, "Excuse me," as I'm trying to pass by, young lady. Excuse me, young lady. And I turned sideways to avoid hitting her. And for those of you that can't see me, I'm not that big. I'm not a big brother, but I'm 5'8". I'm 260 pounds. I'm
He
thick.
said not that big a brother.
Look. This coming from Jolly Black Giant.
Right.
Barry Light is only 6'6", 275 right now.
It's a big boy, man.
He a big boy,
linebacker
yeah.
right here.
So I walk by, and chick grabs my arm, and she said, "Hey, I ain't no young lady. I ain't no young lady."
That told you everything right there.
And I was like, and I said, it wasn't meant with disrespect there. I was trying to get by. And I ain't no lady. And
She
that
told you.
my thing was this. My concept of what a lady was just one who was able to navigate inside of social circles and still be respected when she walks inside a room without having to get loud, obnoxious, or indignant.
But what that lady said, I ain't no. Well, she used a double negative.
Look.
No, 9 times out of 10. And I know some women who are not well, who aren't well educated, but are very polite and very ladylike. But traditionally, you got to think about it. You got to think about what you're hearing, what you're listening to.
You might not have seen it, they might not have said it, but have you opened the door lately for a young lady and then all of a sudden she'll tell you, I don't need you to hold the door for me. You've not
So
you've
then you
not
should
had
have
that happen.
grabbed it
No,
faster.
Man, look.
I've not had that happen. And hey, I wanted to revise a little bit my definition, see, because it's not a bad thing. An alpha female is not a bad thing. An alpha female is actually a good thing because she's motivated, she's talented, she believes in herself. Her self-confidence is evident in everything that she does. In addition to that, she has the ability to lead others, including me. All right, because I make a lot of mistakes, and I
I'm
will
perfect.
make mistakes.
I am not
So,
perfect.
Alpha female is a sister that has the ability to help me, especially when I'm
Hey,
at
D.
my worst.
What's your definition of an alpha female?
I guess because I'm from the South, I reckon that the big reason that I see, I think it's alpha females are becoming few and far between, because just like the brothers have already mentioned, right? We know that like our mothers and our grandmothers and our great grandmothers, they were usually like the leaders and everything like that. They're the matriarchs of our family and everything. The sad thing is that, like, again, we're kind of doing away with etiquette, manners, appropriate language, right? Because the unfortunate problem is that just as much as, like you alluded, Brother Trey, you have a lot of men that are embracing their femininity. You have a lot of women that are mistakenly embracing what they are being
Masculine.
programmed to think is, the alpha stance. But the reality is, again, I think now we're at a point in life where instead of just automatically trying to partition people or peg them into a particular alpha and beta type of sub-segments, I think what we need to realize is that regardless if you're male or female, in this day and age, we need to be able to embrace both aspects of it, right? We need to have like the soft, compassionate, feminine side of our power in order to be effective parents. At the same time, women need to be incentivized. They need to be brought up and raised to be self-sufficient, right? Because like one thing that y'all touched on that kind of stuck into my head, you cannot have an alpha female without an alpha male. The only reason that I say that is because, or an alpha parent, because the reality is they had to get that perspective, that mindset, that mentality from somewhere in their upbringing, right? And whether that's a family member or just somebody that they associate with, they're exhibiting what they see as strength. And so I think what we need to stop doing is labels are for jars. You know what I'm saying? Trying to label and peg everybody as being this, that, or whatever. It kind of what Brother Dog was talking about earlier. I think it takes away from our uniqueness, right? Because instead of realizing like the unique perspectives and benefits that we bring to the situation, I think we're too busy trying to fit in, right? Because we're just trying to get people to agree with us. But I mean, that's going in another direction, and that might actually be another topic for another show.
I think it's something that I see where you are though, and it's relative. But check this out. We're going to make a brief announcement, and so once we get back, we have to answer this question because I have a different definition. Anyway, so stay tuned. Check us out. You just might learn something.
Which one? Oh, you got it.
Programming on KRDP is financially supported by Westside Blues and Jazz, located at the northeast corner of 59th Avenue and Bell Road in Glendale. Performers include Big Pete Pearson, Beth Lederman, The Sugar Thieves, and Charles Lewis. WestsideBlues.com. Also on Facebook, Hashtag Westside Jazz and Blues. And we thank you for your incredible, generous support of community radio.
I need to tweak that. There's something not quite right with that telephone hybrid. I see now what her issue was. She couldn't hear us.
Oh. Why?
I don't know. I'm not an engineer yet.
Let me see.
But I'll play with it and see if I
She,
can get it to fix.
she could hear us
It was going
when we
in and out
down,
on
when
her
we
end.
went down. Okay.
No, I see what her issue is because that next call was me when I had the phone up on my ear. Something just is out of sync, and we haven't used it for a year and a half. So I mean, you know.
I feel you.
How often? do
It
you
said the
guys-
line was busy. Danita Danita Daniel said the line was busy. Rita Pittman said she couldn't get through.
Yeah, because I was on it probably.
Oh, okay.
That's the other thing. Remember, because it only lets you do
You know,
one at a
Saturday
time.
and this
Right.
time, y'all work together.
Mhm.
They can try calling again, but
Sure,
again, they may
call.
not hear everything. So
Try to support what he's doing and help little by little just start adding to the viewership and the station, what's going on.
Oh, we got to talk to your boy too, because now today is the 1st of October. I got the whole plan written out for Essence of Ebony.
Do you broadcast in Scottsdale? Does it get,
South Scottsdale.
South Scottsdale.
okay.
It's a little scratchy over there, but you should be able to get us like
Yeah,
an
it's
old town.
90.7 FM.
Okay, yeah. I had a couple of people text me and they so you go what east?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Maricopa?
Not that far south, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He said Chandler, Far Tempe.
At Cisco and Riggs, which is obscure. You can hear us.
Santan Valley.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Apache
That's
Junction
right
is our actual
Definitely.
city of license.
The
So.
good thing about that is
Mesa,
there's some people
Superstition
down
Springs.
Mm-hmm.
there.
No,
Definitely
there
some
are.
people. Some businesses, some people, some restaurants,
Mhm.
malls.
Yes.
Yeah, we come in real clean in Gilbert, which
Gilbert.
surprised me. Yeah,
Mm.
Gilbert,
Clean, clean.
Chandler, that area by the other airport, the smaller one that they're trying to turn into like our
Gilbert
version of what
Airfield.
Midway.
Oh, okay.
Lord, Midway.
Wait, are you talking about the
You
one
scare
right
me
there
when
on
you
Chandler
say
Boulevard,
Midway.
that airport?
Yeah, that
It's
The-
a strip. It was
it's
private.
sort of like a secondary airport now in the Sky Harbor.
Yeah.
We come in over there.
Okay.
How many hours are you guys on there?
2-4.
24 hours?
No, for 2 hours.
He's on
No,
for
no, no,
two.
no, no, no.
Two.
The radio
We're on
station.
for 2 hours.
Yeah, the radio
The
station.
station is 24
24.
hours. Oh, I'm sorry. You probably want to go back on the air. Huh? I mean, you might want to just let her song play out. I don't know.
Right.
Well, now we can. That was perfect timing.
All right, stand by.
Go down one.
Yeah, I think mine was that.
That'll bring us back in.
Island Breeze.
Up one. On
You wanna go
point.
to Live Read.
No, on point. Right there.
Right? Yeah, that's the next one it would have played.
Oh, I didn't know you.
But we do need to go through this again because
Right.
apparently some
Island
of
Breeze
this
is the
out
end of the
sync.
show.
Oh.
So that's where
okay.
we make our commentary and blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
we have to revisit this because it seems like something got out of whack.
Okay.
Because that's the automation pulling stuff, but that's fine.
That's why you always saw me skipping around, because there were things that were.
Ooh, somebody made coffee?
Yeah. Did they?
I'm like a
It
bloodhound.
smells good, too.
I think that's Big Brother. Hey. And we're back right here at We're On Point. It's your boy A-Trade. and on KRDP 90.7 FM on your FM dial. And this is our segment, Behind Closed Doors. So the question was, can an alpha male and an alpha female coexist? Is there such thing as an alpha female? Okay. Okay. Here's my thing. I think that the concept of alpha female has become blurred. I think it's become blurred. Because now, let me see, how do I put this? I'm going to be grammatically correct so it's not so tacky, but you'll understand. Female's upset, blah, 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 she's doing her thing. We're at the park, we're playing basketball, and the guy goes like this. He said, you fouled. She said, I didn't foul. He said, you did foul. He said, everybody out here saw it's a foul, you know. Are you just saying that because I ripped you? He said, you ripped me because you fouled. She got upset, and she said, place your lips firmly on the anterior of my posterior and osculate. And I'm like, you're a girl. How's that even possible? You know, I'm just saying, for those of you that caught that. And my thing was, how is that fit in? And she was serious.
You hear all kind of crap like that.
She was serious. It wasn't like a passing term. This is something I'd expect a dude to say. She said it with depth and conviction.
That's what they're doing. They're trying to be dudes. They're repeating what they hear you say. Have you ever watched, if you go to any of these bars, you can be at any of these places, clubs, shows, whatever, but you see the young girls and with their little crew and the little guys, and they've been drinking, and it's, I ain't no punk. It could be 1,000,001 different things. And it's not ladylike. It doesn't sound like what should be coming out of a woman's mouth. Who cares if you can fight if you can't fight?
Right.
Just be able to articulate yourself.
Translate that. Well, translate that. Translate that into a relationship.
I thought there were more alpha women now than there were in the past because of some of the changes. But then, I mean, maybe it's just the view, the way you see it versus the way I see it. I don't know. Maybe some of those that used to be considered alpha females that are dating women now.
Here's something. You got 4 different fellas, 4 different opinions, and we all saw an alpha. We actually have 5 men in the room, but we all saw an alpha different way. Here's mine, because I didn't give the definition. An alpha female is one who can command respect, exhibit authority, be strong, stand stern, have a social standing that demands respect, and still exude it all with grace and dignity at the same time while maintaining the look of a lady. My dad told me that a real man doesn't have to raise his voice to get his point across. I believe that. And he gave me the nastiest example, but it made perfectly good sense shortly thereafter. And I'm going to tell you because it's relative. So my dad said, he said, Lily, which one of these scares you the most? And I was like, about what? After he made a statement. He said, hold on. So he goes in the restroom and comes back out. And he grabs me by my shirt, lifts me on my tippy toes, and he said, next time you fix breakfast, you wash up behind yourself, or I'm going to punch you in your mouth. And I was like, and he said, I'm just saying, did that scare you? I was like, hell yeah. Then he left. He said, I want to just see your reaction. I apologize. He left. 10 minutes later, he came back And he stood behind me, put his hand on my shoulder. He stooped down, whispered in my ear while I'm washing the dishes. And he goes like this: the next time you fix breakfast, you make sure to wash up behind yourself. Wash the dishes, or I swear I will kill you. Then I turned around to look at him, and he didn't flinch. That one scared me more than the other one, because it looked more sincere. It sounded more ominous. And he never raised his voice. Now imagine if a female takes on the same identity, skipping the softer version, but addressing the more aggressive version. That is today's alpha female, that she has to get her point across, in my opinion, by being overly assertive, overly aggressive, down to sex. We don't play with toys, but now it's in social media. They have a thing on TikTok, Divine. They have a thing on TikTok where she's talking about toys. If your man really loves you,
They'll buy you the rose.
he'll experiment and let you be the woman you're meant to be. I'm not going to say it's divine, but my thing is, what is that? In order for me to love you, I got to let you gollywomp me? Come on now.
Whoa. I don't even want to ask what that is.
I'm like, wait, what? And she was serious. That's today's female,
I don't know, man. Look,
from my perspective.
I see it like this, man. When it's all said and done,
Mm-hmm.
there are two things I'm gonna say. First, I'm gonna address the men. Fellas, we gotta do better, man. We can't keep dogging these women out. We can't keep hopping from woman to woman, having sex. We can't keep disrespecting women. We gotta be better.
I can see that.
We've created an alpha female because that's what she gotta be to put up with the dumb crap that we be doing. Most of us, some of us, not all of us, not me, not you, but some of us,
Remember,
you know,
ladies,
but
DJ Chuck Dog.
we have to be better. But ladies, you gotta shut up about it. If you continue to bash men, if you continue to say, I don't need a man, I can do this by myself, or he ain't no good, then you get what you putting out. If you're gonna continue to belittle and in certain ways
berate
a man, or berate a man and continue to put him down, then that's the kind of man that you're gonna get in return.
What
So
does that do to their sons? What about your sons? You forget they're men?
yeah, well, we as black men, we got to be there for our sons. We can't let there shouldn't be in America. The black woman in America is 70%. 70% of black women in America are single, man. That's ridiculous, man. We got to be there for our kids, man. Not only for our kids, we got to be there for the women that's with our kids.
Time out,
man.
time
Problem,
out, time
yeah,
out, time out,
because
time out. Hold on.
Sometimes that 70's for a reason.
Listen. You have some of these ladies now, or these females now. If they don't have their way, if they don't get their way, and you have a child with them, you ask to step, and then they'll tell you, and you can't see your kid, and I will sue you for this. You want to upset us? You want to just cause discord and chaos in a man's life? Take away his kids, if he has them, and mess with his money. Quickest way on his bad side.
Well, that's what the whole system was set up to do. Think about it. That's what the welfare system was set up to do. That's why they couldn't get a welfare check or food stamps or help if a man was in the house.
This is true.
Why?
The
Because
same
they
thing
wanna
stands with
separate the
Section 8
family.
too.
Right.
I'm like, wait, so how is it that a family can't need assistance?
Right.
I mean, you can still be a family and need assistance. It works that way inside of in those of a lesser melanin. They do it.
They apply for something different, I guess.
I don't know how, but my thing is they say, you know what, we're using this right now because we have to get by, but we're, by God, gonna go for it.
How long have you been in Arizona?
Too long. Long enough for my son to be 28.
Well, we need somebody who's been in Arizona for a long time. And 28 may be long enough, I'm not sure. But there's a line, there was a dividing line in the city where black folks could buy homes and they couldn't buy homes. If they can do that, what's left? They can do anything. There's a million different things. All you gotta do is write it into the paperwork. You know, don't wanna confuse ourselves.
Here's something. Everything is how we perceive it, and they say that a perspective is exactly what you make it, how you design it. Perception is 100% real, how we perceive something. Anyway, we don't want to perceive something to be negative, because if we do, that's exactly what we're going to get. So raise your glasses, everybody. Remember, bottoms to the top. Every thought is grand, every idea is warranted, and for every step you take, and for every endeavor you make, may they always be on point. Till next week, we'll talk to you later. Peace.
Okay, you're clear.
Good work.
Good job. See, that's it. That's our out. That's our out. Thank you. Now you see why I was always trying to jump around.
Thank you for
Did you
listening.
see the thing I sent you the other day? It was like a playlist, not a playlist, but a file of
Programming on Radio Phoenix is
I might not have.
Okay, what I'll do is I'll try to email it to you and get it to you, but we get, every Tuesday we add more songs. Now Def Jam, Zaytoven's people have been on for like months now. And we had David Banner a couple weeks ago, but every...
Hold your thought real quick. Go ahead and sign off of the YouTube.
Hey, what's up, everybody? You know what? Thank you so much for checking us out today. I appreciate that. You can leave your comments or your statements, and so we can reply to them. Love to do that. And my fellas, they'd love to respond as well. So again, raise your glasses. Remember, every thought is grand, every idea is warranted, and for every step you take and for every endeavor that we make, we hope that they're always on point. Till next week, we'll talk to you later. Peace.
Financial support comes in part from Gibson On, 12-step gift bookstore since 1977. Southeast corner of Scottsdale and
Push
Sheffield.
up, please.
Monday through Saturday. Gibson On Facebook.
Go ahead.